Hi there, welcome to ITY TV. Today we're talking to Peter Chambers, a Managing Director of Sales for Asia Pacific and Japan at AMD. Peter's been in this role for, getting on to 3 years now, March 2019, but he's been with AMD since January 2011, so 11 years. Some might say you get less familiar, but I'm sure you're having a great time at AMD. So no, thank you, Pete, for your time. It's wonderful to talk to you.
Hey, thank you, David. It's great to be here and always excited to talk about AMD. And to your point, it's been quite a journey over the 11 years and we've seen the ups and downs, but certainly we're on the way up at the moment. And it's great to see, AMD back in a leadership position, innovating with technology. And I think AMD historically has always been most successful when we're innovating. And I really do believe that we're on that mantra, on that momentum at the moment, which is fantastic. So great to talk to you today.
No, thank you. That's fantastic. And, it's interesting. AMD, obviously we know of AMD as a processor manufacturer, but it's really interesting to learn that AMD, because of your unique perspective in the industry, has a lot of insight into IT leadership challenges and issues. And, I'm keen to understand, I guess, what AMD sees as the key challenges that APAC CIOs are facing during this weird time of remote work and hybrid work and unprecedented times.
Yeah, unprecedented, definitely. And those unprecedented times have frankly led to unprecedented demand. So we've been really, trying to drive the business to meet the expectation of our customers. And, what we've seen is a real need to upgrade systems, right? And I know that sounds like cliche and everyone's on a cycle, but what we've seen from, that work from home inflection point is obviously a massive need for refresh of infrastructure to meet the bandwidth requirements. Okay, if you think about, all of a sudden your whole workforce is working remotely, there's a whole lot of, additional needs that are required around that from an infrastructure standpoint, upgrading of software. And then also when you think about mobile devices as well, if we move away from the data center for a moment and look at mobile devices, we've seen a massive uptick in demand in that regards as well, because people all of a sudden, after you've had a notebook for many years, and then all of a sudden you're using the camera every day, you're using the audio, the microphone. And so even myself, up until we were all working from home, I hadn't turned on the camera. So all of a sudden, people are going, oh man, my camera quality is terrible. It doesn't look great. Everyone can hear my kids screaming in the background because it's an older system that doesn't have noise canceling capabilities. And so we've seen a lot of companies are going out to upgrade their staff's mobile devices, their notebooks and such, so that when they are working from home, they can be more productive. And so that's also, that need has driven, significant demand in the marketplace. So there's some of the key things that we've seen that's been driven out of this work from home environment.
That's fantastic. What about zooming into just the immediate future then? What do you think are the key priorities that CIOs across APAC are going to try to address in the next quarter? Or what do you think they need to address, even if they know, even if they're aware they should or not? I guess, what do you think are the key challenges that are going to come up now in this next quarter at the point where we're at?
Yeah, I think a lot of those challenges are the ones we've already seen, all the key priorities we've already seen, which is how do CIOs optimize their infrastructure to manage the greater security risks? I think that's something in this this environment that everyone is very, very focused on. Security and data breaches is something I think that's on every CIO's mind. So having an infrastructure solution that meets that need, I think is key. Obviously performance is always there. Everybody wants more performance, but security continues to be a key focus, I think, for many CIOs. And then the other one that probably is, on top of mind, of course, is sustainability. Okay. We look at, greenhouse emissions, the cost of electricity. Everyone's looking to optimize in that regard as well, and for good reason. And so when folks are looking at their data center and their technology requirements, how those solutions impact the environment, I think, are the top of mind. And when we look at data center, is it energy efficient? Because if it's energy efficient, you have less cooling. If it's got a higher core density, and we're very excited at AMD to be able to deliver unprecedented core density. So if you think about that, you can put 128 cores in a single rack solution in a dual socket 64 configuration. That gives great power efficiency, but also in a lot of instances, customers need less physical racks physical servers to meet their requirements, and that also has an impact on sustainability as well. And so AMD is very focused around these two things, and really, delivering both sustainability but also increased security along with increased performance. When we think about security, there's some unique features that that we bring to market in our CPUs, such as memory encryption, secure nested paging, secure VMs. These are all things that our customers, it's resonating very strongly with our customers, and some of the reasons why our customers choose AMD. And then on a bigger picture standpoint, if we look at that energy efficiency, and our current EPYC 3rd Gen products are very, very energy efficient. But as we look out into the future, AMD is very focused on increasing energy efficiency by up to 30 times by 2025. And again, those goals are in line with what our customers are asking from us. And so, again, when it comes to innovation and driving the product, it's not just about performance, but about including those features such as, increased security and increased power efficiency into the solution as well, to create, an overall package that meets the customer's needs. You're right.
So that's terrific. So no, these are exciting things. So I can really see AMD's value there. So you're saying that companies who are employing AMD processors in their rack mount servers can use fewer of them, and already the fewer number they're using are more efficient because they're using less energy, which then also they need less cooling. That's awesome. So and that's better not only for the company's electricity bill and management, but for the globe. They're wonderful things. But also I was interesting what you're saying. Sorry.
And it also drives lower total cost of ownership, right? So there's a tangible benefit. So if you think about, if you need less racks, you're using less power. Ultimately, that's going to drive down your total cost of ownership, which again is something that I'm sure every CIO is at the top of their list as well, right? How do they maximize the performance and what they deliver to their company, whilst minimizing the overall total cost of ownership and expenditure? So I think AMD is really focused on helping in that regard as well.
Yeah, they're terrific. And I like what you were saying as well about the secure features built into the processor, because I know, one thing, when you have people working from home, working from anywhere, I guess, how do you protect the perimeter of your company when the whole internet is the perimeter? So having those security features, trusted computing built into your devices, that's terrific. I can imagine that gives IT leaders a lot of peace of mind there. So that's wonderful. So they're awesome, Pete. So what about key enterprise IT trends then? What should we be watching out for in APAC?
Yeah, great question, David. So, I mean, if we look at, what IDC are predicting, that, by 2023, over 65% of businesses in AP will be digitized. And so that's driving a notable, increase in, demand, especially when it comes to IT infrastructure. And one of the main things we are seeing is a shift towards HCI, so hyper-converged infrastructure, but also cloud adoption. And especially when we look at cloud, the global business is growing exponentially. We think that by 2025, IDC says that that business will be $1.3 trillion. And so I think that's a reflection on where the business is heading. And so we work very, very closely with our cloud providers. AMD will likely have around 400 different instances on offer with our key cloud providers. And so what we're working to do with the likes of AWS, Google and Azure is really provide different solutions that are very much bespoke and driven towards particular workloads, and really helping to provide great solutions for our customers when it comes to their cloud needs.
What about, that's exciting, Pete. So what about, I guess, the growth opportunities, and where do you think AMD is going to head in 2022 as we start this new year?
Yeah, I think as I said, I think, cloud and infrastructure in general will see continued demand. When we look at, enterprises, again, we see continued refresh of their mobile devices as they look to better equip their teams for work from home. And again, we see also enterprises spending and heading towards more premium devices as well. If someone's going to spend a lot more of their time on the device, then they're looking for products that give better battery life, have a better quality of camera, have things like integrated noise cancellation on their microphones and such. So we continue to see significant demand in that regard. But then, as I said before, on the cloud, continuing demand as we shift to the cloud, as we meet those growing needs of our customers. And then from a technology standpoint, We continue to innovate and bring new technologies to market. And in that regard, we also expect to see, an inflection point as well around some of the new technologies that we will bring. So, we talked about, our CEO, Lisa Su, has talked about a number of new technologies that we'll be bringing to market later in the year around our next generation of product. And I think that's key as well. Customers and businesses want to know that there's a consistent roadmap of innovation when they choose your product. And I think AMD over the last 4 or 5 years has really demonstrated that we can meet our commitments to the market and continue to drive that innovation. And so as we look into the latter half of the year, we're very excited about some of the new products that we've already announced that are coming down the pipeline. We have our new Zen 4 core on our server CPUs. It'll be optimized on 5nm technology. We'll bring new I/O technologies, DDR5, PCIe, next generation PCIe connectivity. But more importantly, we talked before about that how to optimize the infrastructure, and we talked about before we'll be able to provide 64 core solutions. In our next generation of product, we'll be offering up to 96 cores per socket. So again, really driving that efficiency, as we move down into a smaller node with 5nm, so that brings new power efficiency, but at the same time delivering customers high density. And again, helping them helping them by way of providing a high density. That means you have to purchase less server units themselves, which again helps bring efficiency and drives down TCO. So we're very excited about the opportunities that 2020 will bring.
Yeah, that's exciting. Those products you mentioned, were any of those announcements you gave this year at CES, or do you have any other announcements from CES as well? What are some of the new things?
Yeah.
Talked about?
Yeah, we CES each year has been an exciting time for us over the last few years, and every year we announce new products, and this year was no different. We had Lisa Su came out again and with the team and presented a number of new products, and I think the one that's probably most relevant, one of the ones that's very relevant to your audience, is our new Ryzen Pro 6000 series of APU products. So these are very much targeted at our notebook solutions, and there's some great innovations there that we brought to bear. So it's on our next generation Zen 3 Plus core, so we see an uplift in single thread and multi-thread performance, and that's always great. People want more performance from their product, but the big difference this time around is the introduction of RDNA 2 on the graphics standpoint. So we expect to see around a doubling of performance intergenerationally from a graphics standpoint, and that really helps to accelerate a number of workloads, especially when it comes to productivity on notebooks as well. And then really excitingly, and around what we talked before around the importance of security, we announced the first x86 notebook processor to feature Pluton, which is Microsoft's to be integrated with Microsoft's Windows 11 security features. So that's a hardware environment that really enhances the security across a range of scenarios, and really gives the customer that a very high level of confidence that their device is secure. And so that partnership is very, very exciting. It's something that we've worked with Microsoft on in the implementation in the most recent Xbox, and now we've brought that same technology across to implement it on our consumer and our commercial PCs, to really help constantly work towards eliminating various attack vectors and physical exploits that previously may have been a risk to a customer. So again, very focused around that security. So it's not just about performance, but it's also about security, and it's also about battery life. And we expect to see again significant an uplift in the time that customers could be on the go with these new products, as well as we optimize these products also for power consumption, and to again making sure that we drive towards that mobile workforce that wants to be out and about working in a coffee shop, and really giving them a great experience in that regard as well.
That's tremendous. That is a huge amount of stuff there. That's great. I could really see the benefits of all those. You mentioned the partnership with Microsoft. What about other partnerships AMD has? And, I guess, how important is collaboration to AMD? And yeah, who else are you?
Yeah, no, it's incredibly important. I can't just go out and sell an APU on its own. It needs to be in something, and so our ecosystem partners are so crucial to what we do, and not just from a hardware standpoint, but also from a software standpoint. And so, as I just mentioned, you know, our partnership with Microsoft and what we do with Windows 11, what we do with Pluton security, is absolutely key. And we spend a lot of time working, you know, for example, with Microsoft to optimize and to, you know, deeply collaborate on how we can, you know, bring to bear new security features that are going to benefit our customers and, you know, help protect their data from malware. And then on the hardware standpoint, of course, you know, I can't bring a product to market without the help of our OEM and our hardware vendors. And so we again, we work very, very closely with them to optimize the platforms and, you know, take what we offer in our silicon and the benefits we bring in our silicon solution, but then really tie that into what they do in their overall, you know, product offering. So talking about recent announcements, you know, for example, we just announced in partnership with HP, the HP Elitebook 805 with our new 6000 series processors. So we bring to bear, you know, that great security story, the performance story, and also the battery life story. But then we complement those great features that are in our silicon with things that HP bring to bear in their systems, like AI-based noise reduction, dynamic noise cancelling. They've got a 5-megapixel camera. And so when you put that together, this is a very strong offering for enterprise customers. And then also we were very excited recently to announce an exclusive product with Lenovo, very much targeted at our enterprise customers, the Thinkpad Z. So this is an exclusive partnership that we've worked on with Lenovo, again, to design a product that is very much focused on great security, great battery life, great performance, but also wrapping around a great number of features that are very, very relevant to our customers. So, you know, an OLED type displays, again, Dolby Voice, AI noise cancelling, 3D haptic touchpad. So all these other things that make for a great experience, we partner very closely with our hardware vendors to make sure that we really deliver innovative product and product that, you know, brings great productivity to our customers, which is, you know, key.
That's awesome. No, that's wonderful to hear that story of how AMD's leveraging strengths across the entire industry to help build the ideal platform for organizations today. So there's definitely a lot of value there for organizations of all sizes, for IT leaders, remote workers. That's wonderful. No, that's terrific to hear what AMD is doing in this space and the exciting things you're doing this year. Okay, excellent. Fantastic. No, that's been great, Pete. I guess before we finish, do you have any other closing thoughts about 2022?
Yeah, thanks, David. I'm super excited about 2022, and, you know, obviously, you know, from an AMD standpoint, there's a lot of innovation from a technology standpoint we're bringing to market, and so we're very excited to get that in the hands of our customers and our channel. And whilst we've talked a lot today about our CIO and our end customers, I think it's also important to note that there's a lot of work we're doing from a channel and a reseller standpoint as well to enable our partners and our customers. So when we look at some of the investments that we plan to make over 2022, we're certainly focused on adding resources, that's technical resources and sales resources to the team. So we understand that, you know, customers appreciate that when we can come in and help them as a partner and show them, you know, what technology is available to them and work as a trusted partner. To do that, we need more feet on the ground. So we will continue to invest in increasing our workforce and our team. And so I'm super excited about that. And then also when we look at, you know, our channel, and our resellers are incredibly important to us, along with our distribution partners. And so there'll be a number of new programs that we'll bring to bear to support them and to really help them, you know, communicate the benefits of AMD technology and how it can help their customers in 2022. So a lot happening on that front. And as I said, we're super excited about the opportunities that 2022 will bring.
That's fantastic. No, I really enjoyed that, Peter. I appreciate your time a lot, and you've got me really excited for 2022 and seeing all the things that AMD can deliver. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. It's an absolute pleasure to be talking to you today.
Thank you so much. Take care.